What's up? Wait, just it doesn't feel right without, me and a whiteboard. Even though I'm not going to really be whiteboard. The legal. So even if you just work for a locksmith company, you do need to know there are certain legal things that are involved with being a locksmith. Even though there are 13 or 14 or 15, whatever states that are licensed, that require licensing of some kind to be a locksmith or a locksmith company, almost everywhere you're required to have a federal employer identification number, FEIN. You're required to have insurance. You're required to have a license with the state and or county that you're operating in, because all these places want money, and basically that's all they want. They want to know that you're a person, and then they more than anything, they just want your money. But we're going to go quickly through the actual states that need require some type of licensing. We're going to start off from, like I said, A to Z. I guess this is the A to Z part. Alabama. Nebraska and Tennessee, by the way, just dropped their licensing, so they don't have to worry about it anymore. But again, they still have to have all that other stuff. Alabama. First and foremost, in Alabama, if you're a locksmith, you have to be licensed. We're going to go ahead and start putting this over here. I may pause for dramatic effect during each one so that you can screenshot it. Yeah, and in addition to that, if somebody from Alabama needs to come into Mississippi for anything, you do have to have an international passport and writ of permission from somebody in the state of Mississippi. California, besides all the stuff that we're going to do here, California, all that causes cancer. Connecticut, you see a lot of these you have to have a criminal history background check. So Connecticut. Illinois. Not much. You got Louisiana. That's our southern neighbor down there. Now theirs is kind of similar to ours, but they put it under locksmiths and security pros. Our licensing kind of mimics that, but on the electronic security side, through the fire marshal. Pretty much all the same stuff that goes on. I did notice though, y'all require 24 hours of CEU, continuing education, every 3 years. We require 12 hours every year, and that's very tedious, but, so anyway. Maryland, it requires this stuff right here. New Jersey is over there, and you pretty much, that's not much, so you got to do this stuff. North Carolina, we all know LPP just went through his whole thing with his licensing thing, but basically they just want a lot of money, and you got to take a test. Oklahoma, the Department of Labor. That's not too bad. Well, $250 and fingerprints and all that. Here we go. Oklahoma. Oregon. Or is gone. Yeah. Oregon. 80 question online locksmith certification test. And then basically they're just kind of going by the book and making you read the locksmith dictionary to take the test. So anyway, Oregon's right here. Texas, they're kind of weird over there. They require a whole bunch of stuff. I mean, I don't even think it's going to fit in this, but here we go. Nevada, I mean, not much. You got to get permission from the sheriff in Nevada, and Nevada's like that. Pennsylvania, aside from having Count Dracula, you have to. They don't really require licensing, but if you make more than a certain amount, you gotta do this. Virginia, it locksmith this 18 hours of training right here. And there's like a few counties in states, and those are just weird. But you got like Hillsborough County, Florida, very specific. And then you have Miami-Dade County, Florida. That's way down there. New York City and Nassau County, New York. New York City! And then we always have Nassau County, New York. New York. So basically that's it. Yeah, we're gonna so what all this boils down to is that these states want their, I could have done that green. I don't remember green. They want money. That's the bottom line. They kind of want you to be like, proof that you're somebody by getting like, criminal background checks and all that. Don't be a criminal. And then of course it boils back down to money right there, because they want their money, and like I said, even if you don't fall into any of those states, you still have to have a business license more than likely. You still have to have state sales tax thing where you pay the state sales tax that you're going to be collecting. Of course, if you're in a state that doesn't have state sales tax, I don't know how that works, but I'm sure you still get taxed somehow or another. Your federal number, you're going to need an accountant, you're going to need an attorney in the beginning to help you do certain things, possibly, and you'll have to go through all this paperwork. Secretaries of States, it really just depends on your area and how their .gov is set up. But it is good to check into your local laws, county, state, whatever, blah blah blah, to make sure that you give all your money to them first, because they're going to want it before you well, as you're making it, and then every year they're going to want their money again, more than likely, no matter what. Having a physical location, we have fire permits that we got to do every year. We have sign and licensing privileges just to have signs out here. So definitely on the legal side, the boring side, but the important side. Thanks again, Chief Little Horse, for sending me that, because I totally would have skipped that. You have to send money to the government in one way or another. So anyway, that's that. Let's go ahead and get started. We're done with all this nonsense, and it's not really nonsense. It's important, but God, let's get to work. One last thing, because this kind of comes up a lot. Bond. Some people say go to that website, magazine, to get a bond, but just check with your insurance company. Your business insurance company will almost always offer what's called surety bonds, and it's in most areas it's more of a feel good than anything. We have one just because we want to be perfectly legal and all that. But yeah, don't go. You can go through the website or whatever. We all know what we're talking about. We know. Okay. Check with your insurance company for a surety bond. They can probably help you or point you to where you need to go for it. That's that. And if I did forget something and you are in one of those areas, or of some weirdo law, feel free to post it in the comments section, and we'll catch you when we start working on the next video. We're going to actually start in on actual locksmithing stuff now. The fun stuff.